Amidst the backdrop of World War II's stormy theater, one man's journey led to a captivating discovery, an artifact with a story as intriguing as its craftsmanship. A guest shared the fascinating tale of her late husband's involvement in World War II, highlighting his role in retrieving artifacts from a German castle. Among these treasures was a captivating Russian bronze sculpture. The sculpture, bearing the signature of artist A. Ober and originating from the Warfel Foundry, boasts exquisite detail, particularly in the portrayal of the figure and the horse. The craftsmanship reflects Ober's training in Paris and his dedicated study of animals. Although likely crafted in the late 19th century, uncertainty surrounds its exact origin, suggesting it may have been cast outside of Russia. Nonetheless, its undeniable quality is evident, contributing to an estimated value of $8,000 to $10,000. The guest, born in La Jolla, San Diego, met Dr. Seuss as a child and later found original artwork by him at an estate sale in Long Beach, which fueled his passion for collecting. The artwork is for the World of Dr. Seuss Lunchbox created by Aladdin in 1970. It includes original stamps, showcasing Dr. Seuss's meticulous control over his art.
If you've seen it, the Lunchbox, which sells in great condition for about $400.
The back panel features Horton and other characters, matching the Lunchbox colors. The sides feature the Sneetches and other characters. Although the iconic Cat in the Hat panel is missing, the rarity and originality of the artwork greatly enhance its value.
I feel that something like this would easily bring between $10,000 and $15,000 at auction.
God, really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Letters have always been portals to hidden words, but none so enchanting as this. A missive penned by JRR Tolkien, echoing with the whispers of Middle-earth secrets. The appraiser, astounded by the distinctive handwriting and signature, identifies the author immediately. The guest explained that during their 7-year residency in Milwaukee, they crossed paths with an employee at Marquette University, where he worked closely alongside Mr. Reddy in the archives. Being a member of the Tolkien Society and having personal connections with Christopher Tolkien, the guest inherited the letter through his estate. The letter, dated 1957, contains references to Tolkien's iconic works, including The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Delving deeper, the appraiser unveils the historical significance of the letter, detailing Tolkien's financial struggles and the pivotal sale of his manuscripts to Marquette University. The guest, having acquired the letter through a connection with the Tolkien Society, recalls a previous undervaluation of the item. However, with the resurgence of interest in Tolkien's works, and as per appraiser,
I would feel comfortable estimating this at auction at $8,000 to $12,000, and I would think insurance-wise you'd be looking at more like $15,000 as an insurance.
The guest recalls receiving the Gibson mandolin from their father in 1935 when they were about 10 years old. Our guest started taking mandolin lessons and joined a plectrum orchestra.
We played in the orchestra, and we were on the radio Tuesdays and Thursday nights.
That's great.
The appraiser identifies the mandolin as a Gibson AC model, Century or Century of Progress model, made in 1935. They note that it was not an expensive mandolin to make, but was a flashy and rare model, especially with its Pyrloid fingerboard and spruce carved arch top. The guest reminisces about being the flashiest mandolin player in the orchestra, seated on the first row. The appraiser appraises the mandolin's retail value at approximately,
well, I think in a retail situation, it's worth about $2,500 to $3,000.
They express surprise at the mandolin's pristine state, stating it's the best one they've ever seen. Our guest shares her discovery of the Meeson figurines at an estate sale in Dallas around 2001. The appraiser confirms that the figurines are indeed Meeson, noting that the crossed swords marked on the base, a hallmark of Meeson porcelain. These pieces are estimated to date back to around 1880. The appraiser expresses particular interest in one of the figurines, highlighting the rarity of the model featuring a pug, which is highly sought after by collectors. Despite a general decline in the market for Meeson, the appraiser suggests that the demand for pug-related items remains strong among enthusiasts. The estimated value of the figurines at auction is between...
At auction, I would expect these to sell in the range of $3,000 to $5,000.
Okay.
Which for your $500 investment is
yeah.
good.
Clocks are more than mere timekeepers. They are guardians of history, repositories of craftsmanship, and vessels of family legacy. McCabe 1790 carriage clock, cherished as a family heirloom, captivated attention. Hailing from London, England, it boasts the meticulous craftsmanship of James McCabe, a distinguished watchmaker of the early 19th century. While the inscription may suggest an origin date, it signifies a serial number, indicating its esteemed lineage. Crafted entirely by hand, the clock's brass case and silver-washed brass dial epitomize London's unrivaled quality. Though reminiscent of a carriage clock, its design classifies it as a table or library clock, showcasing versatile elegance. Featuring a striking mechanism and bearing McCabe's signature, it exudes pride and craftsmanship. Notably, the fusee movement ensures precise timekeeping by equalizing the spring's power output. The original chain, painstakingly assembled link by link, adds an authentic touch rarely found in antique timepieces. As the appraiser mentions,
I think that you probably would have to budget somewhere in the neighborhood of $4,500 to $5,000 buying it out of a good shop.
Yeah. A label from a peach can belonging to the guest uncle was presented with a letter on the back from World War I. The appraiser admired the beautiful piece of graphic art, identifying the letter from a soldier in the Machine Gun Company, 4th Infantry Regiment. In addition to expressing gratitude for the peaches and praising the quality of the product, the letter also provided insight into the conditions and sentiments of soldiers during World War I.
Enough to save the label and send it back. There's something else in here. They tasted so good.
While the label itself may have been worth around only $10 as a collectible item, its historical importance elevated its value significantly. The rare item was assessed to be worth around,
I would expect to see a retail value today for this in the neighborhood of $550 to $600.
Wow, not bad for a can of peaches.
The guest's late husband, a graphic artist and poster collector, cherished this particular circus poster featuring Jumbo the elephant. Jumbo, a beloved circus elephant, was tragically killed in 1885, reportedly saving another elephant from an oncoming train. This event sparked Barnum's creative storytelling to rescue the circus's reputation. The appraiser expresses a fondness for clown imagery and explains that the
P.T. Barnum was considered the world's greatest huckster, and early circus posters are a wonderful window into the history of American advertising.
Revolutionized by traveling circuses like Barnum's. The poster was printed by the Strobridge Company, a renowned American lithographer based in Cincinnati, known for its
gold standard for American turn-of-the-century commercial lithography.
Although the poster lacks a specific date, it is estimated to be from the early 1890s, featuring the headline about Jumbo's heroic sacrifice and various exciting scenes of elephant performances. Despite the lack of a specific date, the poster's historical significance and vibrant colors contribute to its value. The appraiser estimates its worth at auction to be between,
at auction, I would estimate its value at between $2,000 and $3,000.
With potential to sell closer to the high end due to its excellent condition. The guest is pleased with the appraisal, noting that her husband would have been happy.
I need a pair of red striped pants. That would be perfect.
The guest inherited this remarkable hood ornament from her father. This masterpiece is the creation of the acclaimed American sculptor Harriet Frischmuth. She refined her skills alongside Auguste Rodin in Paris and under Guston Borglum in New York.
Works appear in many museums, the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York.
This piece is signed and dated 1923. It's not just a hood ornament, it's a rare car adornment crafted at the prestigious Gorham Foundry. In the roaring 1910s and 1920s, hood ornaments became all the rage, adorning cars with style and sophistication.
And the radiator would be out front. It's beautifully cast. The patina is in very good condition.
Its exquisite casting and impeccable patina not only enhance its beauty, but also elevate its value to new heights.
Auction, a piece like this would probably bring between $20,000 and $30,000.
Wow, that's awesome.
The guest bought 3 Winsor McCabe comic art pieces that he purchased to the show. Zenas Winsor McCabe was an American cartoonist and animator. He is best known for the comic strip Little Nemo in Slumberland and the animated film Gertie the Dinosaur. The comic strip is a pen and ink drawing which depicted Nemo having fantastic dreams that were interrupted by his awakening in the final panel.
Right. Well, other than the comic strip, I know that he was an important pioneer in the development of animated films. He created a character called Gertie the Dinosaur.
The strip is considered McCabe's masterpiece for its experiments with the form of the comic page, use of color, timing, pacing, the size and shape of its panels, and other features. It's very rare to have any Winsor McCabe comic book with an original label from the New York Herald. The value of this exquisite piece is estimated to be around $25,000.
That's a nice piece of change, Gary.
Something nice to find at a barn.
Yeah.
Passed down to his wife from her great-great-grandmother, this jacquard Corvet designed by his wife's ancestor has a history that meets more than the eye.
My wife's great-great-grandmother sheared the sheep, dyed the wool, made the thread, wove this all in the early 1850s.
At first glance, intricate patterns are visible.
The technology to make these kind of patterns was invented by a Frenchman.
See that the Corvet is made from a combination of linen fabric and wool, giving it a shiny appearance. Additionally, the Corvet features intricate borders, indicating expert craftsmanship. Adding to its beauty, the center medallion exudes quality. Perhaps that's why, for a Corvet, it auctions between $800 to $1,200.
Worth preserving.
Our guest acquired it from a local antique dealer in 1976. This piece has a fascinating history. Signed by George Klimt, brother of the renowned painter Gustav Klimt, it reflects the Vienna secessionist movement's departure from Rococo excesses. The design showcases a shift to simple geometric abstract forms, highlighting the artist's skill. Crafted from hammered copper, the piece features a motto in the middle, reminiscent of the nursery rhyme, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?" The appraiser values this piece at auction, conservatively, estimating it to be worth,
at auction, probably conservatively in the $20,000 to $30,000 range. So
that's great.
The guest introduces a piece related to W.H. Merrill, the editor of the New York World from approximately 1890 to 1905. The appraiser highlights the exceptional nature of the piece, noting its larger size compared to most Rookwood silver overlay pieces. This silver overlay features calla lilies, which is common in silver overlay pieces. It's noted as a significant factor in the piece's quality. Crazing can affect the clarity of the artwork and its overall condition. The appraiser estimates the value of the piece to be around,
It's probably got to add another $1,000 to it at auction, so say maybe $4,000 to $5,000 at auction.
That's a delightful number.
The guest inherited this Chinese porcelain bowl from his grandfather, who had an interest in collecting art, particularly old master prints and ceramics, post-World War II. After his grandfather's passing, his grandmother donated some of the items to the Brooklyn Museum. The guest received this bowl around 2010 and kept it tucked away on a shelf for safekeeping, as it didn't fit with the rest of their belongings. The bowl had a brilliant copper red glaze and a precise white rim. Upon flipping it over, the bowl had the rain mark, Dajing Zhangji Nieji, indicating it was made during the Jing dynasty under the reign of Emperor Shangji. Notably, it was crafted at the imperial kilns in Jingdanjin, making it a genuine mark and period piece. The bowl's rare shape and exceptional glaze suggested it might have been used in some rituals during the Zhangji period. Given its rarity and authenticity, the appraiser estimated the value to be between $30,000 to $50,000. The guest expressed surprise at its potential value. This Seth Thomas clock is a timeless piece of American craftsmanship. It bears the name of its renowned maker, Seth Thomas, a prominent clockmaker from the 19th century. Known for their precision and durability, Seth Thomas clocks are cherished by collectors and enthusiasts alike. These clocks often feature elegant designs. Many Seth Thomas clocks have been passed down through generations, cherished family heirlooms. The reliability and accuracy have made them a symbol of quality and tradition. Each tick and tock of this clock resonates with history and craftsmanship. This clock adds a touch of timeless elegance to any space. Seth Thomas clocks continue to be sought after by collectors and appreciated for their beauty and functionality. Retail value is around $2,000. These items were crafted in Charleston, South Carolina during the 18th and 19th centuries. They're made from a silver alloy known as coin silver, typical of that era. Each piece exhibits exquisite craftsmanship with intricate designs and details. They offer a glimpse into the skilled workmanships of silversmiths. Displaying them in homes brings a sense of connection to the past. It's fascinating to imagine the hands that meticulously fashioned these pieces centuries ago. Owning these Charleston coin silver treasures is a true delight. At the auction level, it's worth $1,500 to $2,000 wholesale. This rifle has a rich history, originally belonging to the guest grandfather, then passed down through the family. The Henry rifle, a forerunner of the Winchester repeating rifle, holds significant historical value. Designed by B. Tyler Henry, it was a 15-shot, 44-caliber level-action rifle, first used in the Civil War. The iron frame is a notable feature of this rifle, with an early serial number, 64, indicating its rarity. Despite some fading and cleaning, the rifle's overall condition is very good. The appraiser estimates its value today to be between
Good. I would estimate this rifle today from $75,000 to $100,000.
My goodness, thank you very much.
Isn't that a nice surprise?
It sure is. It's a wonderful surprise.
It's not every day you see an exquisite piece of jewelry associated with the movie.
30s movie, Thief of Baghdad. It was directed by Alexandra Korda, and I've tried doing some research on it, but I keep getting contradicting information.
But the Thief of Baghdad jewelry appears to be so valuable it was used in a movie. The jewelry in question was produced during World War II, and for such an exquisite piece, one might expect it to feature numerous rhinestones, as was typical at the time. But because the world was at war, it came with a few rhinestones. Nevertheless, it was glazed with cabochon stones, pointed back stones, and properly cemented with great metalwork.
We've got some pointed back stones, pearl stones, and we've got a lot of intricate metalwork.
Despite being used in the movie Thief of Baghdad as a symbol of elegance, the jewelry is worth just a modest $1,050.
All right.
Thank you so much for bringing them in.
Thank you. I finally learned something. I
yes,
love
you
it.
did.
These oyster plates were found in the tub. They were made by George Jones in England in 1875. Oyster plates are special dishes used for serving oysters. They typically have a round shape with several small indentations. These plates are often made of ceramic or porcelain. Oyster plates come in various designs and colors. Some plates feature intricate patterns or motifs inspired by marine life. The wells on the plate are strategically placed to prevent the oysters from sliding around and spilling their juices. Oyster plates are prized items for their unique designs and historical significance, and these two each more like $600 to $800. A circa 1910 Francois Linke side table to the show. Francois Linke was a leading Parisian ebonista of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The side table, adorned with a central bronze cast floral motif, is a two-step rounded-shaped table with extremely gold-plated bronze fittings that rest on four straight legs. Looking at the condition and the exquisiteness of this piece, it's estimated to be around $8,000 to $12,000. The guest received a wonderful surprise. She won a Walt Disney cartoon as a prize in a children's cartoon contest sponsored by the Nashville Tennessean newspaper at the young age of 12. Walter Elias Disney, also known as Walt Disney, was an American animator, film producer, and entrepreneur who co-founded Walt Disney Productions with his brother Roy. He is also known for creating the cartoon character Mickey Mouse, which became a huge hit in 1929. She had cherished the cartoon for many years, but never had it appraised. The Walt Disney cartoon is delightful and holds a significant value.
Today's market would realize $1,000 to $1,500.
Stumbled upon a hidden treasure at an estate sale in North Carolina for a mere $5. It's a ritual drinking cup, suggesting it may be an antique with cultural and potentially high monetary value. Ritual cups like these are really popular in various tribes. However, the exact origin of this one is unknown. At auction, the price of this item is $800 to $1,200. The farmhouse where this plate rack hangs was built 132 years ago and has been in the family ever since. Located in Independence, Kansas, the plate rack was originally painted white. A friend of the family noticed a tag on the backhand, had it refinished by a professional furniture refinisher, preserving it. The plate rack is a Model 903 designed in 1901 by Gustav Stickley, a prominent figure in the American arts movement. Stickley and his brother set up shop in New York State and were known for making simple. This piece is a transitional model for Stickley, featuring experimental elements like this subtle arch, which later became iconic in his work. Despite some changes to the finish over time, the oak wood underneath is warm and beautiful. In its current condition, the plate rack could fetch between
It would probably bring at auction between $4,000 and $6,000.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
But if restored to its original state, it could be worth $10,000 to $20,000 to a collector. The guest plans to keep the plate rack, displaying their collection of 100-year-old plates on it. In an antique enthusiast collection, there's a stunning bronze sculpture on a ceramic vase. It's decorated with beautiful marine life scenes. The item is a striking decorative lamp, boasting intricate bronze depictions of marine life adorning a porcelain vase. Bearing the signature of Louis Chalon, a distinguished French artist renowned for his versatile talents, its origins as a purpose-made lamp or converted vase remains uncertain. Nonetheless, its historical association with Chalon and meticulous craftsmanship contributes to its perceived value. It rests upon a porcelain ceramic vase, adorned with a breathtaking design featuring an array of marine life. At the base, there are intricately crafted starfish and perhaps various coral formations. Additionally, there's exquisite seaweed entwined around the vase, complemented by 3 magnificent seahorses. Well, for the price, the appraiser suggests
probably sell for a retail price somewhere in the $3,000 to $5,000 range.
Oh my goodness, that's absolutely fantastic.
This guest brought a Chinese export porcelain teapot, which she had gotten from her aunt, to the show. The teapot was made by the Dutch East India Company and is a forerunner of Delft blue and white production. The United East India Company, commonly known as the Dutch East India Company, was a chartered trading company and the first joint stock company in the world. The teapot is shaped like a melon, which is a classic Chinese teapot design, painted with a stylized tulip signifying its intended market is the Dutch market. The flowery pattern on the teapot is in blue color with a delicate gold trim. The top of the lid is beautifully adorned with a small silver gilt metal chain on the spout. What makes the teapot spectacular is its small size, which was basically the size of teapots used over 300 years ago. With the design and the timeless elegance of this teapot, it's estimated to be worth $800 to $1,200. Wars weren't always fought with guns. In fact, during World War II, knives were used mainly in place of guns due to a gun shortage, and so soldiers had to learn combat with knives in case their bullets finished. Floyd Nichols, a World War I veteran, was one of the folks who graciously created and donated his knives for battle. One would expect that for a knife that was to be used in battle, these knives would be normal. But on the contrary, knives made by Nichols were elegant, with a sharp blade and a firm handle. Composed of steel, brass, and bronze, these elegant knives auctioned somewhere between $2,000 to $3,000. Getting rid of bad blood and improving circulation wasn't always through leech therapy. During the Civil War era, equipment called medical bleeders were used instead. Most folks had a problem with this leech therapy at the time, so medical bleeders were used in place of them to treat wounds. This particular medical bleeder comes with an engraving, and because of this, its value is not all that on the high side. As of 2018, it was auctioned between $150 to $200. The guest showcased a unique sword at the show, purchased at a local auction for $200. The sword was examined by the appraiser, who identified it as a militia officer's sword from around the 1830s or 1840s. It displayed characteristics typical of swords made in continental Europe, featuring an American eagle head. The appraiser admired the excellent condition of the piece, highlighting the well-preserved horn grip and original gilding on both the scabbard and hilt. Additionally, the chain, which is typically fragile, remained intact, and there was an etching present on the blade. Based on its condition and historical significance, the sword was estimated to fetch between
I think at auction it would probably fetch $1,000 to $1,500.
Okay, great. Super.
This baseball was brought to the show by the guest. It's a 1961 baseball given to the guest in-law's son. Mel Allen was an American Hall of Fame sportscaster, best known for his long tenure as the primary play-by-play announcer for the New York Yankees. On the sides of the balls are multiple autographs from the Yankees team players. Although some of the autographs aren't authentic, the ball could sell at auction for...
You could expect this ball to sell for $5,000.
The guest recounted an interesting story of acquiring a vase. It was inherited from her grandfather's home in Pensacola, Florida in the 1900s. The guest's mother repurposed the item as a wired lamp. Later, the guest acquired it and kept it as a vase. This beautiful piece was made of glass by the Mount Washington Glass Company. The vase was crafted from white opal glass with a satin finish, mimicking porcelain. The item bore a monogram with a crown over it, indicating that it was produced after the company changed its name to Crown Milano in 1893. The vase had enamel decoration depicting boats and sails in the foreground, and a faint gray enamel background depicting Venice. The raised gilded designs further enhanced the piece. The expected value for the item was...
Would bring between $2,000 and $3,000.
Wonderful. I'm not going to sell it. It's going to go back in my cabinet.
A decorative piece designed to serve as focal points on dining tables or display areas. The owner got it from the garage sale and paid $15 for it. Made by Joseph Pitts, an Englishman from 1803, showcasing his original glass compote. Original glass compote likely refers to an antique glass dish with historical value, often used for serving fruits or desserts. Silver centerpieces from the early 19th century are esteemed for their historical and artistic significance. The appraiser expresses the value between $6,000 and $9,000.
This piece is worth between $6,000 and $9,000. You did well.
Even though it's over 160 years old, this clock has maintained its quality over the years. Passed down from him to his grandfather, this steeple clock passes an aura of vintage quality.
One of the reasons why this clock is here today is because it's in remarkable condition. I mean, it's a clock that's 160 plus years old.
Oh, wow.
And it's just the condition of it is perfect.
Thanks to its enclosure in what seems to be a mahogany case, this clock is as great as it gets. Perhaps for those of us who love leaving collections, this clock can serve as an heirloom of inspiration. Contributing to the beauty of the clock is its dial, which give it an exquisite look. Perhaps the most unique aspect of the clock is the glass, because it gives us a patriotic look.
But the best part of this clock is the glass. It was painted by a guy named William Fenn, who started off with Seth Thomas in 1829.
And for something that's over 160 years old, portrays durability at its best. Sadly, despite its quality, this exquisite clock only auctions for $850.
Wow.
Our guest purchased this antique around 30 years ago for just $2. This pottery piece was initially thought to be interesting and unusual by the owner. It features a mottled green and yellow glaze with a unique figural lizard design, characteristic of
William J. Wally. And you're right, he was located in Sterling, Massachusetts, and about 1910 would have been when this piece was made.
William J. Wally. He was known for his eccentricity, crafting each piece by hand, making them one of a kind. The figural lizard on this piece is exceptionally rare, with experts noting that they had never seen anything like it before. Due to the rarity and uniqueness of Wally's pottery, this piece is valued at auction.
We believe that at auction this would bring between $4,000 and $6,000.
Amazing.
Chairs are not mere pieces of wood. They embody tales of power, resilience, and history. The guest told the story of how they got a nice old chair and a little couch for a really good price. The chair seems to be from about 1880 and is made of nice wood with fancy carvings. These chairs looked like thrones and often had lion heads on them, which meant they were powerful. They also had other detailed decorations like leaves, fish scales, and big feet that looked like animal paws. Italian artisans looked back to ancient times, especially to Roman Greece, where lions were thought to pull the gods' chariots. This tradition goes way back in history. The chair itself is made of really nice carved wood called mahogany, which is very expensive and looks great. Although it got a bit wet and had its seat replaced, it's still real and valuable.
Seat is new. The original was red, so I tried to keep the same color.
So was it water damage? The chair?
They figure it could sell for about $1,000 because it feels comfy.
If this chair were in an antique shop, I'd probably ask about $1,000 for it.
Oh, my.